The belt drive upgrade for the Royal Enfield 650 range just got an important update. A brand new method for setting and checking belt tension, approved by RSTech and Gates belts. Get this step wrong and your ride could suffer. Stay tuned as I show you the right way to do it. The RSTech belt drive version 2 has been installed on my bike. I've had it installed for a week now. On this video I'm going to go through how to tension that belt, and even if you've got the version 1, this is still the same way to tension the belt. We've found a better way to do it, so this is like a modified way to tension the belt on the belt drive kits for RSTech, and you don't have to remove the exhaust or do anything when you fit the kit or tension the kit. And the biggest bonus is, once you've done the test initially, you can check the tension whenever you want from then on the side stand without anybody having to sit on the bike. So it's a much better way of tensioning the belt, which was the biggest criticism from the last method of doing it. So I think I'm going to remove my old video, the old method of doing it, and then replace it with this video. So this will be the way forward from now on. And this method will do all the belt drive kits. It'll do the Continental, it'll do the Interceptor, it'll do the Meteor, and it will do the Shotgun. So all the 650 range, this is the method to go forward from now on. So the new method is quite ingenious actually. We're going to remove the front pulley cover. We're going to take a center line from the front pulley to the center of the rear swing arm pivot, and then a center line to the rear pulley. We're going to put them all in a straight line. When you do that, when you achieve that, that's the belt at its tightest position. And when it's at the tightest position, when everything's lined up, we're going to set the bottom rubber on the tension tool to 10 pounds, and we're going to push up on our 10 pounds so the belt moves 10 millimeters. That will give us our baseline. Once we've got a baseline, then whenever we reconnect the shocks and put everything back together, we can take a second reading. It will be different according to what shocks you've got on your bike. Mine should be between 11 and 12, I think. We'll check it again in a minute. But maybe you've got different length shocks than I've got. When you put it on the center stand, your reading will be different. But whatever your personal reading is, after setting it to 10 millimeters when everything's in a straight line, that is your reading from there on. And it's just easy to check when you're on your own. You can just put the bike on the center stand, check your tension, off you go. If you do need to make adjustments, it's just very fine adjustments on the chain adjusters on the back. And the only way we're going to achieve a straight line is by removing the bottom bolt of the rear shocks, pushing them out of the way and raising the rear swing arm to get everything in a straight line, to make that belt as taut as possible. So it's a 14mm socket to remove the bottom bolt of your rear shocks. And we know now that when we retighten these, it's going to be 45 Newton meters as torque setting. Now obviously I do want something under the wheel as I take the bolt out to stop it dropping all the way down. I'm going to do this with 2 pieces of wood today. Normally I do it with a car jack underneath the rear swing arm, but just for those of you that don't have a jack, we're going to try it with 2 pieces of wood today. There you go, I've got 2 pieces of old timber. I'm going to put one on the ground and put one on front and make it into like a lever, a pivot, and then I can raise the rear wheel when needed. There, can you see that? I can use my foot on here and raise and lower the wheel as I'm taking these bolts out. Don't step on it too much because you will tip the bike off the center stand, so be just a little bit of pressure on there, not too much. It's only being held in by one bolt on the other side now. Obviously I don't want the swing arm to go all the way to the ground because that will damage my exhaust. And just by pushing that piece of wood all the way forward, there's no way that wheel can drop. It can only go higher when I step on it as a lever. You can actually see the suspension moving here in the hole when I do it. So it's achieving its aim. So this is the second one coming out now. It's just a case of putting a little bit of pressure on the foot to higher and lower the shock, the swing arm, and that bolt comes out nice and easy. I can undo it by hand, just by getting the right pressure on the piece of wood. There, I'm unscrewing it by hand. So there we go, they're both out. Both my bolts are out. I can release the pressure on the wood, the wheel stays up. I'm not damaging my exhaust here. So now we're going to pull the rear shocks out of the way. That's what we want to do, just pull them clear. Because we want to get that rear wheel hired up. Again, I can step on my lever and see now, you can see I can higher and lower my rear swing arm just by stepping on a piece of wood. So now we're going to remove the 3 hex bolts that hold on the front pulley cover. There we go, that's the front cover removed. And there is my new shiny nickel plated front pulley. Beautiful, a beautiful piece of engineering. CNC cut, right? It's so accurate, so accurate. That belt fits there perfectly, absolutely perfect. This belt fits in there perfectly, perfect profile, perfect running. And just pop off the cover for the rear swing arm. We need to get this nut in line with this nut, the center of this nut in line with the center of this nut, in line with the center of the rear axle. So you can do this by 2 ways. You can do this with a straight edge like they did at RSTech when they fitted this for me, or you can do it with a piece of string, which is what I'm going to attempt to do now. I'm going to try and be smart and get the string held in by the belt itself. The only thing is I should have done this before disconnecting the rear shocks, because now I have to lift the rear swing arm up to move the rear wheel. But we'll try, see if we can do it. Yeah, it's okay. I want that to be center. And then we can see how much we have to raise the rear swing arm by. It's going to be quite a lot by the looks of things. But it makes perfect sense. This makes perfect sense in the fact that this will be the maximum tension the belt will ever experience when it's at its most taut. Center of the front pulley, center of the axle for the front swing arm, and look, we're this much down. Am I going to have enough adjustment here to do it? No, I still need to go higher again. So I just need to place some blocks of wood underneath. So I'll do that now. That's my wedge I use for raising my center stand. So I think I can put that in under as well. I've got the perfect height on that wheel now to make that lines in a straight line. So that saved me a lot of time as well by having a wedge to get the perfect height. Center of our front pulley, center of our rear swing arm axle, and center of our rear wheel axle should all be in alignment. There we go, I'm happy with that. This makes the belt at its maximum tension. So this method makes perfect sense. We know that the maximum tension should not exceed 10 millimeters of tension. So we're going to set the belt at 10 millimeters of tension now. And then after we reconnect the shocks and let the bike be normal, we can take a second reading. That will be your personal reading for your bike. And then from there on forward, you can check every time just yourself quickly on the center stand. So there we go, everything lined up, everything looking perfect. Thank you. And I have to wear my glasses because I can't see, but I have to be super quick because the sun is coming around any minute and I want to get this done before that happens. So I've wedged a normal tape measure between the swing arm and the floor. This is very difficult to film because this exhaust is in the way. I've got a dirty exhaust here. I know how to clean it. I will clean it. I'll probably make a video about it actually. It is quite easy to clean that muck off. But anyway, yeah, I need to take this reading now. It's not the easiest thing to film and it's not the easiest thing to see. 10 pounds of tension set on the rubber O-ring, just below, or just on 5 centimeters on the top of that tooth there. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to push up to the 10 pounds of tension, which is there, and now I'm at the 4 centimeters. So that is my 10 millimeters. Let's film that again from the bottom. I'm pushing up until that rubber ring touches the bottom, and that's my 10 pounds of adjustment, and I've got my 4 centimeters on the top. So our 10 millimeters is set. Now it's torque wrench time. We're going to lower the rear springs, reconnect them. 45 Newton meters of torque as recommended by Royal Enfield. We have checked. I'm just going to lift my wedge out the way and then I can use my adjustment method to get it right when I put these bolts back in. I will check the top ones as well. They both need to be 45 because there needs to be movement, otherwise you're going to get a broken shock. That's what happened in that video, right? There wasn't enough movement. Yeah, I can just get the perfect feeling there. I can do it up by hand. So that's a perfect method of doing that as well. Now I need to set my torque wrench to 45 Newton meters. One, two. Please remember, whenever you finish your torque wrench setting, always unwind your torque wrench. If you leave it set, you destroy the spring rate. To keep your torque wrench accurate, always unwind it afterwards. Okay, the sun is going to be here any second. So now I can remove my blocks of wood because the rear wheel is held up with the rear shocks. I can remove my piece of string and now I can do my baseline test, and that's what I'm going to use from now on. So whatever that reading is on 10 pounds from now on is my personal reading. It will be different for everyone according to what shock length and what make of shocks you've got on the rear of your bike. So my reading is 5.4 centimeters. My second reading is 4.2 centimeters. That is 12 millimeters. That is my personal reading. 12 millimeters is my personal reading for this bike from now on when it's on the center stand. So I can quickly check this every month. I think it's recommended that you check it. I think it's recommended that you check it every 4,000 kilometers, 5,000 kilometers. Just a quick check like that. If you're at 12 millimeters, you're good to go. That's all you need to do. No oiling, no chain adjustment, no anything. If it does need an adjustment, it's just very minute on the back. That's all it is. Nothing major, nothing difficult to do. So, thank you, RSTech, for my free t-shirt, for making this video for you today. And there is the belt loading and unloading as it should. This is why you don't get any chain snatch. There's no movement there at all between drive and non-drive. So this is why it's such a much better ride, in my opinion. You have to try it to appreciate it. So if you're unsure, just test ride a bike that has got belt drive on it. It doesn't have to be a Royal Enfield. Go and test drive an Indian or a Harley Davidson and just feel how smooth it is. And then you'll realise. Well, we finished just in the nick of time because the sun is just coming over the roof now and it's starting to get hot. That company, that lovely company Ayusi, that I fitted the C6 Pro to my bike, they've sent me the C3 to review. They sent me the C3 to review, and I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to drive out today, this afternoon, and find somebody on the street to give this to so they can do a test for me. And this one is up for grabs as a raffle to my subscribers. So if you want to have the chance of winning this, all you have to do is watch the next video, Teacher T's review of the Ayusi C3. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, please drop us a like, and if you have any questions, please feel free to comment, and Teacher T will try and reply to you as quickly as possible. Until next time, ride safe and see you in a video very soon.